RJ Bell at RJ in Vegas is the Twitter handle. Pregame.com is the website. Of course, straight out of Vegas. It's the incredible radio show which follows ours right here on Fox Sports Radio at the top of the next hour. RJ, how much was Vegas surprised? How much did it hurt Vegas that Baltimore, or actually Vegas wins when underdogs win, right? So that helps exactly when Baltimore gets upset, didn't it?
Yeah, because think about it. The public, they love favorites, right? In a way, when you bet a team, you're kind of saying, I want to be on this team's side. I want to root with them. I want to be with them. And usually in America especially, we like winners. Thus, in general, and there can be rare exceptions, underdogs, less betting, and favorites, more betting from the public, and the public does poorly than when the favorites lose. By the way, and I'd love to hear your thought on this. Baltimore, Kansas City, neutral field 2 weeks from today. What's the line?
If it was, Baltimore, Kansas City, they lost.
Exactly. The point I'm making is that.
Who would be favored?
Yeah. How much? I mean, how much of a
Kansas City
downgrade?
Would be a favorite because Kansas City beat them this year. I would say they would be a 3-point favorite, maybe.
It's funny. We've got it right around Pick'em, which I think speaks to the idea that Baltimore, if you look at their last 10 games before last week, they had played as well as any team in memory. Last week, was it an aberration or was it a sign of something to come? We'll see. But, man, it was a shocker.
Yeah, it was a shocker. All right, which game do you like best?
I like San Francisco the best, and I do like the favorite, 49ers. But it's really not love for San Francisco. In fact, I got some real questions about San Francisco. Specifically, what caused this defense, first 7 games, as good as any in the NFL, San Fran and, let's say, New England right there. Next 9 games to finish the regular season, San Fran gave up 26 points a game, which is well below average. Then they looked great last week. Was that about Cousins and the limitations of the Vikings? Was that about getting some players back, linebacker Alexander, for example? But if you look at Pro Football Focus, their game grades on the players returning were below average. They were below, like, backup level.
Yeah.
So how can players coming back make your team so good when the players don't play very well? What do you think it is about this 49ers defense?
In terms of how good they are?
Or how good they are sometimes and sometimes not.
Well, I mean, I think there's a correlation offense. Like, I think they're designed to stop the pass. Like, they're designed to get to run the football, to get a lead, and then they have an unbelievable pass rush. And when they have a really good pass rush, they're able. Richard Sherman's able to be a ball hawk and go after things. Other side of the field isn't as good defensively, but when you have a great pass rush and a guy's under duress, now all of a sudden the quarterback has to get rid of the ball more quickly and not nearly as confidently. That'd be my guess.
Yeah, but I think generally what you say makes sense, except they had a lot of leads in the second half of the year, and still that D just wasn't what it was in the first half of the year. And now everyone's assuming that D's back. I don't think I'm not sure that it is. That said, I still like him because I really dislike Green Bay so much. I think Green Bay really is a 10-6 type team. And 13-3, now you got a playoff win. They've been outgained, the Packers, on the season. Aaron Rodgers is not a top 10 quarterback right now. And he hasn't been for years, to be candid.
What are you talking about? He's not a top 10 quarterback. Did we watch the same football game?
We're talking about it's last week's game is the game that matters, and the rest of the season doesn't?
No, but I mean, look, he's not a top 10 quarterback.
Well,
I'd like to know 10 quarterbacks you would take ahead of Aaron Rodgers. I'll wait.
Other than your eye test,
I'll wait.
What metric do you use for quarterbacks?
Touchdown interception ratio, I think, is a big one. Red zone rankings, red zone, third down, touchdown interception, and wins and losses.
Are you a fan of QBR, for example?
Not really.
Okay, because see, to me, that's what I always.
I'd like to know your other 10. Like, go ahead. I'll wait. You can. Like, you want to throw Mahomes out there, you're allowed to. Like, I think Pat Mahomes is great.
Mahomes maybe is better than Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, so who else? You want to throw out other names? Like, Go ahead.
Well, why don't we
I'll
do
wait.
this? Because I don't think it'd be great radio me going through a list.
Right,
So what I'll say,
there aren't 10 quarterbacks better. Just RJ goes like, I might have spoken out of turn there.
no,
Maybe he's
no,
not top
I'm
five
saying
or top 3.
I'm saying I don't know. I'm saying that top 10 was so obvious to me that he's not. I might say
if
he's
it's
not
so
top
obvious,
12.
if it's so obvious, give me 10 names.
All right, so why don't we
give
do
you
this?
Mahomes. Give me another one.
Hey, do me a favor, Mackenzie. Throw up on the screen. Throw up the QBRs this year. All right. So how about this? Let's continue. Oh, we got him. I got a team right here, Doug. Look out.
I got
All right. Lamar Jackson.
Not better than Aaron Rodgers.
He's not better than Aaron Rodgers.
No.
Well, then we're just not going to agree.
Okay. Well, but
I
go
mean,
ahead.
so you think the MVP of the league isn't better than Aaron Rodgers?
No, but that's okay. He had a better season than Aaron Rodgers. He's not a better quarterback.
Well,
than Aaron
but what else could we go by?
Well, okay. I mean, okay, but you can throw him if you want to throw him out there. That's fine. That's 2. Keep going.
Mahomes.
Okay, I'll go with Mahomes.
Breeze.
Okay, I don't think Breeze played particularly well in the playoffs late in the year, but he still put up huge numbers. They won without him. With Teddy Bridgewater.
That's the narrative people say, except he had the third best QBR in football. And by the way, his QBR the last 6 weeks, Breeze, was better than the prior weeks.
Okay.
So he had one bad game. And listen,
okay,
you're going to object to this.
You got Breeze. Okay, you're at 3. You're at 3. You got 7 more. Go ahead.
Dak Prescott.
Okay. Yes.
Russell Wilson.
Dak Prescott. How did Dak Prescott do against actual good teams this year?
Well, listen, we can
Russell Wilson was. I think Russell Wilson's great. Who was the better quarterback last week?
So you really think that Russell?
He played
so what you're telling me right now is Aaron Rodgers is better than Lamar Jackson?
Yes.
And Russell Wilson.
I think he's better than Russell Wilson, but I think Russell Wilson has a similar issue to Aaron Rodgers in that they're not surrounded by the greatest talent, right? They're just not. I think those are 2 of the 5 best quarterbacks in football and 2 surefire first ballot Hall of Famers.
So here's what we know. Aaron Rodgers has a QBR this year of 50.4, and Aaron Rodgers, literally the only starting quarterbacks that had enough snaps to qualify that he had a better year than is Phillip Rivers, Jared Goff, Josh Allen, Sam Darnold, Minshew, Dalton, Trubisky, Allen from Carolina, and Rudolph from Pittsburgh. Every other quarterback in the league had better stats than Aaron Rodgers. Now, if there's some Doug Gottlieb eye test, I can't comprehend.
I went by red zone, touchdown interceptions, third down, and wins and losses.
Well, wins and losses. This is like we're not in the 70s here.
No, it is. It actually does matter. Who has more points at the end of a game does matter. He sacrificed
I agree. Over 1,000 games.
He sacrificed his stats so they could run the football. Okay, because that actually is a what or what?
No, I was, and I didn't mean to interrupt you. But to me, if someone is going to be a game manager like Aaron Rodgers was more of this year, is supposed to help your stats because you don't have to throw in high leverage, difficult situations. So it's not like we're not doing counting stats here, right? It's going to be completion percent, yards per attempt is a key stat. Would you agree with that?
It is a valuable stat. Yes.
And yards per attempt, Aaron Rodgers has not been above the league average for in any year in the last 5 years. In the 6 years prior to that, he had the best yards per attempt in the history of the NFL.
Sure.
Something happened to Aaron Rodgers 5 years ago, and some national host with a first initial of D hasn't seen it yet.
I saw him last weekend when it really mattered, play great. Right? When he needed it, he played great. 2 years ago, he had an injury-plagued year, right? He broke his collarbone, came back early, then broke it again. Last year, their season was a disaster. Outside of that, he's been really, really good. This year, they've changed roles, they've changed offenses, and when he had what's his name, Devontae Adams, Devontae Adams is really his only viable wide receiver. He's been great, and they've been.
So you're explaining why he hasn't been good. But
no, I think he has been good.
He's good.
Why he hasn't put up stats? Look, if you want to put up stats, go be a Matt Stafford fan. He puts up awesome stats. He doesn't win anything.
Who do you think is better, Matt Stafford or Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers.
Today.
Aaron Rodgers. Every general manager, every coach, every player personnel person in the NFL would pick Aaron Rodgers over Lamar Jackson, over Matt Stafford if they want to win this weekend. Every single one of them, including the Baltimore Ravens.
Now, are you saying, now that is fascinating. You're saying the Baltimore Ravens could have Lamar Jackson. They would trade Lamar Jackson straight up for Aaron Rodgers.
For right now? Yeah. Lamar Jackson is a freak of nature. He had an incredible year. Okay, but if you think that they think at home, twice they've played 2 playoff games. He's lost at home to 2 wild card teams. I didn't make it up. And he played crappy. He got booed off the field last year, and this year he put up a bunch of stats for your QBR when the game was out of hand because they were bad. They were bad.
Every player.
Look, Pat Mahomes got down 24-0, came back and won. This dude got down a couple touchdowns. He can't do it.
I might have to respond on my show. I'm going to have to defer my response.
No response. I'm just stating facts.
But let me ask you this, Doug. It's very interesting you said you're stating facts because I consider you.
By the way, Aaron Rodgers is better than Tom Brady right now. We both agree, right?
I wouldn't have, but I think they're about comparable right now.
Okay.
But
would you have Tom? Would you pick Tom Brady? Would you pick Lamar Jackson if you got to win a game on Sunday?
If I had to win a game on Sunday, I'd pick Lamar Jackson so fast your head would spin. Today? But, Doug, give me 45 seconds to respond.
All right, go ahead.
I consider you to be and I say this sincerely, a brilliant guy. I mean, I listen to you and I hear it. Like you're brilliant. You do realize if you create an environment where there's no objective measure, and then all it takes is you raising your voice to say, no.
I said objective measure. I said red zone. I said touchdown to interception ratio, which, by the way, Lamar Jackson was great this year. Okay. I said red zone, third down, okay, and wins and losses. I think you factor all those in.
Well, I think the wins and losses. See, it strikes me you're the kind of guy that would say, "Oh, you can't blame Barkley for this or whoever didn't win for that. The one player doesn't dictate who wins." You seem like the type that would say the guys saying count the rings are being stupid. Are you a count the rings guy?
Look, I've always thought Aaron. Again, it's all in context.
That's convenient.
Like Robert Horry is not the greatest basketball player ever, or even in discussion. Tom Brady. I don't think Tom Brady has the overall skill set of an Elway or of an Aaron Rodgers. But when you get to 9 Super Bowls and you win 6 of them, at some point you do count the rings and you go, I mean, what am I going to say? The reason we play sports is not to accumulate stats.
Nick Foles and Aaron Rodgers have the same number of Super Bowl wins.
Yeah, do you think Nick Foles got benched for Gardner Minshew?
Oh, I'm just saying it's not like Aaron Rodgers is some big winner. This is like the 3rd time he's ever gotten a bye in his life. I mean, but let's do this. Deep tease. I want you just rattle off red zone,
by the way,
third down,
yes.
Touchdown, interception. What's your 4th stat?
Wins and losses.
Wins. I mean, a stat the quarterback actually affects.
Wins and losses.
Directly. Okay.
Wins and losses. You want 3 stats. It's the most important position in the sport.
Next week.
The stutter?
Next week.
By the way,
I'm going to have a grid.
By the way, Green Bay second in red zone touchdown percentage, second in the National Football League.
But you do realize that when Aaron Rodgers wasn't winning, we just heard the echoes of that when you were saying,
when wasn't he
hurt
winning?
His collarbone, but then his team wasn't too good.
He broke his collarbone twice.
Exactly. So the point I'm making is there's always an excuse. If he wins.
That's not an excuse. He couldn't, but he broke his collarbone.
What about all the times since he won the first Super Bowl?
An excuse is like, man, the ball slipped out of a guy's hands. What?
How many times?
When he won the Super Bowl, how about this one? When he won the Super Bowl, they had 22 guys on IR. 22 guys on IR. Like, look, he didn't go to a Super Bowl when he had a torn calf muscle, and they're playing Seattle on the road. They're up 2 touchdowns. They misplay an onside kick, and they end up losing the game. Like that's not on Aaron Rodgers. But so I don't put all wins and losses on him, but it's part of the statistical measure.
Let me be clear. I think up till prior to 5 years ago, Aaron Rodgers might have been the best quarterback, pure talent and pure performance in the history of the NFL. I'm talking about the last 5 years. Aaron Rodgers has become a non-top 10 quarterback.
Okay, you failed to mention 10 other quarterbacks. You got to like 5.
Well, yeah, because every time I mention one, you got mad.
We'll pick it up next week here on the Doug Gottlieb Show. RJ Bell. Thanks so much, RJ.
Thank you, Doug.